What up? Good morning. Good morning. I was about to say good night, but I realized it was 1:37. I know this is a late night, early morning stream, but hey, grinders got to grind. So let's get it, y'all. You are now live in the den with Aaron EBM, Mr. Fair and Balanced. Bringing you live content in the wee hours of the morning. Bringing you live content What's going on, everybody? I know it is late. It is late and early, all at the same time. I appreciate you for being with me live in the den. We're just going to chill out for a minute, talk a little bit, catch up on this Friday night slash Saturday morning. How have you guys been? For one, I have been all right. Not too bad, not too bad. Living life as usual. Had a couple mishaps this week, not too much, but you know how it is this time of year. It seems like you get money and then you got to give it right back out. A dryer went out. Uh, I think the switch and the door broke, and I almost, I almost started to go get another one, but I realized that the rich do not stay rich by spending money, but they find ways to save money. So I went online and looked up, and it was actually a $7 switch that was broken on the dryer. So, why not fix the switch? I might even film it and then put it on here for you guys to be constructive. Who knows? That's what content creators do. I kind of don't want to split the channel like that, but hey, content is content. Content is content. So who cares? Who cares? Might as well film it. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. So it's Friday. I ain't popped open. I didn't get to pop open my wine. I usually pop open about some kind of a bottle of wine, but going to the laundry, trying to get my clothes all caught up before they got bagged up, before I got my part, took a lot out of me. And when I sat down, didn't even get to get my wine. So I don't want to pop it open, but I might pop it open before I go to bed. Who knows? Who knows? Let's cam up. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I hope you're doing all right. You got to cam up. You got to cam up sometime. Creators, I know you like to hide behind the avatar sometime, but you got to cam up. There's nothing wrong with camming up. So cam up. Your favorite people want to see you. Your favorite people want to see you, and they just don't want to see an avatar. So if you can, get your camera game up, get your mic game up, upgrade. Let them see you. Be a part of the group. Be a part of the people. Be relatable. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has some insecurities. and nobody wants to see you hiding behind the avatar all the time. I didn't get to shout out my new subscriber, Shamar Archer, last week, and I forgot. And after I made my last live stream, I was like, I gotta remember to shout those guys out. So I appreciate you, Shamar. Come and join us sometime if you want to stop through the chat and stop through one of these panels I have sometime. You are welcome. You are definitely welcome. So shout out to Shamar. Oh man, it's been a lot going on. I see, some of it's new, some of it's reoccurring in the space. And the first thing I seen yesterday when I decided not to or to take a break from the space, I seen that Tommy Sotomayor had this big blow up on the Fresh and Fit. Who would have thought it? On Fresh and Fit with the chick, and I don't want to go through all the names by now. By now, you probably heard by so many different content creators explain it better than I could in every way, up, down, left, and right. So I'm not going to go through the whole entire story. I like to do stuff different. I like to come from a different angle. So that's what I'm gonna do. You guys know the story already. By now, you should know. If you don't know, go watch Fresh and Fit, and then you'll kind of see what happened. And I'm not gonna do that, because by now I've seen, and will be able to do nothing but the same thing and talk about what those guys have talked about. And from what I've seen, it's the same thing. You got a lot of people that do not like Tommy Sotomayor, so it ends up being a I hate Tommy Sotomayor fest. And you get other people that decide to put their tweak on it, and it's never really straight down the middle and objective, because it's always got, Tommy has a lot of enemies. Let's be honest. Tommy has a lot of enemies and a lot of people that that just doesn't, that just don't like to deal with Tommy. So that's where we're at with that. I don't dislike Fresh and Fit. I don't dislike Tommy. I don't dislike any of the content creators that had something to say about Tommy, negative or positive. So I try to stay as neutral as I can and be as objective as I can and fair and balanced. And I pride myself and the channel on being fair and balanced. But so I tried to, what I wanted to spin or what I wanted to put my flavor or my take on it is, if it got to a point in that conversation with the young lady that Tommy was talking to, and it went all over the place. A lot of people put their bias on there and say he should have walked away from the situation, and the if you were a real man would have checked Tommy, or a real man would have punched Tommy in his face, and a real man would have did this and that. But I'm not going to sit here and say what I would have or I would not have done in a situation like that, because we've all been there. We've all been there, and a lot of men that grew up in the same situations as most of us have, would like to say that you never supposed to get up in a woman's face, or a woman, you're supposed to always do this and always do that. But we are living in a world where women and the feminist movement has told men that, women are equal and they should be treated and handled just like men should handle each other. And how can we sit here and handle women like men and then not handle women like men at the same time and be chivalrous? So that is a lot of the things, the double talk that this feminist rhetoric has put into the minds of the people as well as the public. At one moment, you're supposed to handle women with kid gloves, and understand that they're a lady, and that you're stronger than them, and that you're supposed to exercise every restraint possible, no matter if they kick, scream, punch, or whatever they want to do to you. You always supposed to be chivalrous and walk away. But yet, at the same time, they're supposed to be able to handle you like men and punch and beat and disrespect you and physically abuse you, and then you're supposed to just walk away. And then if you call some kind of authority, and if you do whatever, then you're weak. You're looked at as a weak man. So my question is, what is a man supposed to do in any of these situations? If he walks away, or if he calls the authorities to come help protect him, the man, then he's weak. If he restrains you, or if he retaliates in the same manner, if he slaps you, if you eye for an eye, whatever you want to call it, I don't condone anybody. Everybody should keep their hands to themselves, and you will end up having, a better encounters with people, as well as a better life with people. I have sons and daughters, so I have to be as objective and fair as I can. And I tell my daughter the same thing that I tell my sons. You do not need to put your hands on anybody, because in reality, the police are not your first line of defense. The government is not your first line of defense. You are your first line of defense. The authorities is the second wave, the second line of defense, because they're not going to be there when trouble happens. So if you can keep yourself out of that trouble, it'll be great. It's great. Learn how to de-escalate. The best warriors, the best martial artists are ones that know how to keep themselves out of situations that will put them in harm's way. And that's what I tell my daughter. Every man is not raised chivalrous. Every man is not raised with the same respect that I try to instill into my sons, to do whatever they can to get away from crazy, toxic people. And if you punch a man, that man might not be stable. He might not care, and he might be one of these people that take you right up on your word of that feminist movement and say, I'm going to treat you just like I treat a man. So in order to stop yourself from getting into these situations, we need to learn how to exercise restraint. We need to learn how to keep ourselves out of those situations. And we need to learn how to not act in our feelings and emotions every time we want to say something, and thinking that the world and the police and the authorities gonna have my back, and whatever you do to me, you're the guy's gonna be the one that ends up in prison, because, like I said, the authorities are the second wave of defense. You are your first. So if you're in there with a man and he's bigger and stronger than you, we need to tell these women to stop thinking that every man's going to be chivalrous, or you're going to have somebody, some kind of orbiter male that's going to be around there to stop this man from punching and hitting you, because just like I know, in a lot of these situations, nobody is going to help you. You're going to be in the same situation as 90% of the people out here on the street. It's just getting yourself filmed. Getting yourself filmed being beat, getting yourself filmed and put on World Star, getting embarrassed, and we don't want that. Everybody, as well as myself, Mr. Fair and Balanced, wants you to be safe, wants you to be respectful and be kind to each other, and stay out of these people's way. All right, that's what I feel about that part of it. Now, Tommy, on the other hand, I respect Tommy. I respect a lot of other people in the space that have came here before me, that have came here before a lot of us. Take a drink. I respect Tommy. I respect everybody. But with Tommy, I'm gonna tell Tommy just like I tell anybody else. Stay out of these arguments with these women on these panels, and stay out of arguments with these women on shows, because it's they have you on camera. Like they tell you, anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. If they see you handle a woman in the way the court system is made right now, if they see you forcefully handle a woman, you're going to be automatically in the wrong one and going to have to fight your way out of any of these situations. So stay out of these arguments with these women. It's going to come a point in time you're going to have to tell them, hey, look, you're right. You want to keep arguing, you want to keep trying to be right, you want to do that sign language, shame, insult, guilt, that need to be right, and you can have it. You can have it. If we can't have a civil discourse, if we can't have a civil discussion like two adults, with it turning into what the fuck fest and nigga, fuck, nigga, fuck, nigga, y'all, then what's the point of talking anymore? What's the point of talking anymore if that's what it's going to degrade to, and that's what it's going to happen? That's what's going to happen. It's going to devolve into a situation to where we ain't doing nothing but cussing at each other, and we're going to end up busting each other upside the head. What's the point of talking anymore? It's ridiculous. It's sad that we can't have these situations we can't talk and get into situations where we can talk without it going into these things. But right now, that's the way it is. Like I said before, I'm not going to get too much into Tommy, because I feel like a lot of the situations that happened with Tommy and this young lady was a lot of personal things. It was a lot of sexual contacts and all kind of things that really we have no business even getting into, but they put themselves out there, and hey, the whole world knows, as much as we know. Probably could deal without knowing as much as we know now, but there's nothing we can do about it. Take it like it is. Try to learn from everything. Try to learn from everything and move. Oh man. Yep. Like I told you guys before, I am not a bandwagon person. I am not going to get on anybody defense force, because as soon as you start defending some of these people, what happens? They embarrass you. They make you have to either stand with them, or you have to denounce everything you said for them, or said or defended him against. All right. Just like you guys watch I hope some of you guys watch WWE, right? If you watch WWE, if you grew up watching wrestling, you know Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit was the same way. Chris Benoit was known as one of the most technical wrestlers in all of sports entertainment. I watched him growing up as a kid, watched him do all kind of things, and then one day he ended up getting, him and his wife and his children ended up getting killed. So we thought ended up getting killed in Atlanta, and everybody was sad because the first thing you thought was somebody was a home invasion. They ended up killing Chris Benoit, and everybody was, doing, having tributes and everything else. And come to find out, the dude deleted his whole family, and they had to take everything back about what they said and about Chris Benoit, all the accolades they took away from him. And it was like within a day, everything they said had to be taken back. So that was the prime example of why I don't get on these bandwagons and decide to defend a lot of these guys, because they let you down. Point blank period. They let you down. And I don't like that. Human beings will always let you down. They will never be a human being in life It happens all the time. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. What else did I see today? What else did I see today? So, first thing I seen today was actually, what I want to talk about as I move on is the whole the son husband subject came up again today. Shout out to SKC. I seen the whole son husband thing, and it's interesting. Sorry about that. Move that back on there. And this whole son husband thing came up, and he had a very interesting video that he posted that he was actually reviewing, and I'm gonna show that now. Let's see if I put this on there. Let's look into it so we can talk about it a little bit.
What up, everybody? This is Woman here on my Talk to Me Nice podcast. You guys can call me Angela as well. I'm going to let the room come in just a little bit for this conversation.
Fair use.
I won't be up here for long, but I want to have this conversation. So let me let the room come in for just a second. How are you guys doing today? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How's your day going? Hey, Tequila. How's your day? How has your morning been? How are you? That needs to be talked about. And I'm contemplating on whether it should.
Learn to code online in less than a year.
Damn ads. One day, hey, one day I will upgrade, but not right
Down
now.
over a panel discussion for you ladies with Black women with sons. Black women with sons that date out, or Black women that are thinking about dating out, to have Black sons. I have a nice lady that comes on my panel all the time. She has a biracial son and she's struggling with him. And I had her on my mind this morning. And if you're listening, I prayed for you because
Let me stop right now. Let me stop right down and add some context to this. Who remembers Baby Boy? Who remembers Baby Boy? If you're out there and you remember Baby Boy and you're watching this and you haven't seen Baby Boy, go watch Baby Boy if you're younger. But a lot of the older, millennials and older millennials will know Baby Boy. It's a Tyrese movie. You can see some of the cast: Tyrese, Omar Gooding, AJ Johnson, Snoop Dogg. It's a pretty solid cast. Um, and the movie was basically about. I give this synopsis. I said this story is about Jody, which is Tyrese, an unemployed Black man who's living with his mother for several years, even though he has a child of his own. Romantically, he's having a relationship with two women, Yvette, two women, Yvette, the mother of his son, and the newest interest. Okay, this movie is the perfect example of a son husband. And if you watch it, like I said before, son husbands are always good until they ain't no more. And these women decide to put these men out of the house, and then it's no longer cute. But let's go back into this right here.
you've come on my panels twice and cried to me about your Black son. So I know this is a conversation that needs to happen. And so this is what I want to say. As a mother with two Black sons, I have two Black sons. Oftentimes in this space, because of my rhetoric, people always ask me, well, what about your sons? What about your sons? You have Black sons. And then we have Black women saying they don't want to bring Black boys into this world. And then we have Black women saying, I don't want your Black children on me, your Black little boys on me. And they're calling them the N word with the hard R.
Now, let's be honest. How many of you are and parents out there with Black children, mixed children, and full Black children? How many of you are having to deal with people walking up to your kids and telling your kids and not to touch them and get away from them and calling the N word? Let's be real. How many of you are having these issues in 2022 on a regular basis?
So let me just give you my perspective as a mother with two Black boys. There's a privilege of being a Black mother to two Black boys. And I'm going to tell you what that privilege is. Everybody knows that most Black men love their mothers. They put them in that big mama role. You know, mama's always there. Mama never leaves me. It's my mama, my mama, my mama. Black men gonna talk you till they blue in the face about they mama, about they mama. So I am in a privileged position as a mother of two Black boys. My sons, when they become men, will lose their lives over me. If they don't put nothing first, it's going to be me. They are children now. And my sons tell me they love me at least 4 or 5 times out of the day. I love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. If I'm in my room, I'm washing clothes, or if I'm in the living room folding something up, wherever I'm at. If my son's got to pass me, walking to my oldest, if he got to pass me, walking from room to room, I love you, Mom, going back to his room. My youngest son, runs up to me and gives me hugs. I love you, Mom. I get told I love you several times a day by my sons. By my sons. There's a different dynamic between Black women and our Black sons. And I know
She's admitting it right here. What we talk about all the time. About the son husband. The thing that a lot of women seem to think or seem to act like that doesn't exist. She's admitting it right here. That is a thing that a lot of these women are making their sons into these pseudo son husbands that to nurture them. It gets weird. It gets crazy from here. It gets crazy.
for a fact that when my sons go into the world and they start dating, it's not going to be the same dynamic between them and women. I don't know what dynamic my Black son is going to bring to a Black woman. I can't say that because I haven't gotten to that point yet. I can't say that. And I'm very aware that as a woman, whether you're Black, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian, you aren't allowed to dictate the relationship you have with your sons onto the women they date. Oftentimes, women make a big mistake of doing that. And then they make women feel like it's something wrong with you because I know my son. You don't know your son and who he is to a woman. My son is going to be completely different with me than he is with a son, with a woman, excuse me. I have what you call that Black mother privilege with my son. With my son,
The Black mother privilege. Y'all hear that? The Black mother privilege. Like this is some kind of weird thing to where, look, guys, just keep listening.
I have Black mother privilege. Start breaking that down for y'all. Because there is a privilege for me as a Black mother. I'm not going to have the same relationship. My sons adore me. My sons will put their life on the line in a New York minute over me. My sons will lose everything they have over me.
Why? Why what is this? What is this thing to where, why is this even okay to even want? Why would you feel comfortable with your sons giving everything, their lives, laying down their lives, giving, robbing, stealing, killing, or whatever they need to do for you at their detriment? Why? It's, I feel like it's a power thing. They don't have that is a role for their husband to have, to cover them with, not their sons. Not their sons.
Over me? It ain't happening. My sons will turn on their father over me. Over me?
Bruh.
So when you ask me about my Black sons, the relationship does not correlate the same to what I'm saying about Black men.
Y'all hear that? She knows that her sons will turn on their father. She didn't say if the father was a horrible man, if he was doing things for them, if he wasn't taking care of them. Just that want you to know that at a moment's notice, if she wanted those kids to not be in his life, or if she wanted them to completely turn their backs on their father, she had the power to do it, and it's because she's grooming those kids to be like that. Let's go.
Black men, which is why I was protecting the message. Because young Black boys are going to go ape shit on you over their mothers. And even when they turn into men, they will not fuck with you when it comes to their mothers. So it is a privileged position. It is not the same position a black woman is going to be in dating a black man. It's
You remember what we say, that women are raising their sons to be the exact thing that they will never date. Why would any woman, why would any self-respecting, functional woman get into a relationship with a man that was brainwashed in the way that she's brainwashing her sons? That anytime the mother wanted those boys to do something, it would be mother's way and not their way. See, this goes beyond the mama's boy thing that some men have. This goes beyond that that mama's boy thing. This is sick. This is the son husband. This is the worst of the worst. And you're seeing it in real time.
not the same position. So you don't get to ask black women about, okay, you saying black men ain't shit. What about your son? My son loved me to death. Literally to his death, my sons love me. My sons will get rid of a goddamn bitch when they get older over me. Over me. If I don't like her, guess who ain't gonna like her? Guess who gonna be like, man, my mom don't like you, man. I can't even make this shit work.
And you see that? If mom don't like you, he ain't gonna be with you. If the mother of the son husband does not, if she does not like you, you ain't getting in there.
My sons. So this conversation about black women and their sons and adding it into the fact of diplomacy and relationships and, are you being diplomatic? It's not the same situations. My sons will cancel and stomp anybody out over me, including.
Nope. You remember that? Protect all women, but they're letting you know right now. If you get on their bad side and then they wanted their sons to stomp you out, she would gladly do it. Would gladly let him stump you out or point him in your direction, stump you out, and him go to jail because she has that power and she doesn't care. This is ridiculous.
They damn daddy. It's not the same. It is not the same, y'all. So you don't get, it's a privileged position that I am in with my sons. It is black mother privilege. It is. So think about it. Let the wheels turn. Think about it. Let them wheels turn. Because when you see these men running around here complaining so hard about women, they oftentimes have horrible relationships with their mothers. Mothers are significant in a black man's life more than it.
So they usually have horrible relationship with their mothers. So it's the child's fault. Now it's the child's fault that they have horrible relationships with their mothers. You heard her say it. When a man have issues like she said they have, it's because they usually have bad relationships with their mothers. But is it the child's responsibility to nurture that relationship? Is it the child's fault? Is it the child's place to be that emotional support? Or is it the parents? Or is it this mother's fault? Or the mother's fault?
Anything. Their mother, not their father. This is why when their mothers disappoint them, they're horrific. It is a whole different type of scenario with me and my sons. My sons get the most from me. I get the most from them. They will never lack because I won't allow it.
What up, Bells?
I will never lack because they won't allow it. And guess another thing I won't ever have to look at a man for? When my sons become grown, see, when you have sons, the conversation of protection is also a thing that goes out the window. I don't have to worry about that. I have 2 bodyguards. They're literally bodyguards. Your sons will literally snap and break necks over you.
You see what she's doing? She's creating slaves. Pay attention, people. Pay attention, because a lot of these people, you hear Mr. Palmer saying what he says about these women out here doing these things and grooming these young men and young women to hate their fathers, and y'all think it's fake. Y'all think it's not real that a woman could do and say the things that Mr. Palmer and others are saying about these women keeping their kids away and turning their kids against them, but you're seeing in real time, this is the thing that some and a lot of these women, I believe, do. They're making these little son-husband drones to be all loving, all caring, all nurturing to their mothers, and just sit back and be toxic and be crazy and create little crazed maniacs towards everybody, and then the fathers that share the same blood.
So there is, once again, a privileged position as a mother. So when I talk about Black men and relationships and how useless they are, I can't tell you what my Black...
Bells G, we out here grinding. Grinding. One more time, we grinding. That's why we ain't got nothing else to do. It's cold outside. It's cold outside, Bells. We don't have nothing else to do. We might as well make content. Might as well get the stuff off our brains, because, creative, if we don't get this stuff off our brains, we'll feel horrible the next day. We feel like we wasted time. So we might as well get it.
Black sons is going to do when they run out in the world and start getting with women, I can't tell you that. I can't vouch for that. I can't say, oh, he going to treat a woman right because that's my son. I can't say that. That wouldn't even be righteous, and it wouldn't be true. It wouldn't be right.
That's the only thing she said reasonable, that she cannot control what her son does when he's older. But as far as this goes, I think that's about it. So let's go.
Just, and it wouldn't be true. But I can tell you what my son's going to do for me. That's going to break necks, snap backs,
bruh,
kick in doors,
bruh,
give me their last dime.
Oh
my sons are going to stand in front of me like armor. I'm their mother. They don't play about me. They're little boys now and they don't play. My oldest son walks behind me in the grocery store so men won't look at my ass. He hates it.
Why would you even want your son to be the protector and be the guard dog of your body? This is sick, and I don't understand why people are saying this is borderline pedophilic. Not mentally, this is crazy.
Seethes with a rage from it. Son is 4 and tells people, don't look at my mommy. Quit looking at my mommy. With my sons, it's not the same vibe. So stop asking me that. It is not the same energy. It's not. They don't want to see a hair in their eyes. To my boys, in their eyes, I am a goddamn angel.
Y'all hear this? No matter, she knows that she's not right, but she knows she has impressionable young men that believe nothing but the best of her.
Shit. I don't.
Man, dudes, guys, brothers, get your kids, man. Get your kids. Do what you have to get your kids as long as you can get them. as long as you can get them, because you do not want them around these kind of people longer than they have to be.
I don't care what I do. I don't care what I do. In my son's eyes, I'm an angel. I'm an angel. I don't care what men think about me. I don't care what nobody, in their eyes, I'm an angel. And Lord knows I be cutting up. They don't give a damn. I am an angel in my son's eyes. So it is almost kind of weird when people say, you saying all this, what about your black sons? It ain't the same. It's not the same, boo. It is not the same. Me and my sons is rolling and rocking and rocking and rolling. And if you don't roll with us, you getting rolled the fuck over. Maybe physically, maybe verbally. I don't know how it's going to happen, but we is rolling and rocking and rocking and rolling. And if you don't roll with me and my sons, you get rolled over. It's just that simple. I could literally do anything, and my sons are going to make excuses for it.
Y'all heard it straight from the horse's mouth. No matter what mama does, it's mama. And everybody thinks this is okay because it's mama, because you get that unbreakable, undying love between a person, the kind of love that you were supposed to have with a man, you now project onto your son and hold him responsible for your well-being. This is not right. This is messed up and it's twisted. That love and that bond should have been between you and your son's father. But yet you put this on them, all of this on them, and you wonder why they grow up maniacs. Every time somebody says "yo mama," they get into a fight. You know, they catching felony, misdemeanor and felony charges because somebody said "yo mama." So what? You said "my mama"? Yo mama fat. Well, if your mama weigh 350 pounds, is she not fat? Well, your mama got a gap in her tooth, or your mama got one big tooth and one little tooth. Are they not telling the truth if your mama got one big tooth and one little tooth, but you want to fight them and get yourself locked up and get yourself with all these things on your record? Come on, bro. You see what these women are doing?
They're going to make excuses for anything that I do. They don't give a damn. When it's me, it ain't no conversation when it's me. I am in a privileged position with those two boys. It ain't no conversation when it comes to me. It ain't no talking about it, figuring it out. Was your mama wrong? They don't give a fuck if I was wrong or right. They don't care. I don't have that vibe with them that I have with black men that I date or I know, or random black men in the streets. I don't have that. It's not the same vibe, y'all. They don't give a fuck. It's not the same. It's not. It's a different vibe, y'all. For me, it is a different vibe. So it's a different situation with my sons. It's different. Which is why that message does not carry when it comes to black men in the streets. And I don't know who my black sons, when they get older, when they start dating, I don't know who they're gonna be to y'all.
She telling you already.
I don't know who they're gonna be to y'all. And guess who ain't gonna be trying to say, no, my sons is good men. I would never do that to another black woman. I would never do that to another black woman. I would, once my sons start dating.
She's telling you that she's going to create these little slave drones. She's going to create these little drones that will live, breathe, eat, sleep for her happiness at their detriment. And she don't care. She don't give two damns how they end up, or if they end up with one of the lovely ladies that's out here in the world. It is what it is to her.
I would never tell a young lady, I know my son. See, I only know my son based off of the fact of him being my son and who he is to me. But I don't know who my son will be to a woman. That I cannot say. And that I will never vouch for. I will never vouch for that. I would never lose sight enough to vouch for who my son will be to a woman. That's something I never will do. I don't know what they're going to do. I kind of feel like my youngest son going to be out here cutting loose and acting a fool. Because he already hypey.
They rather make their sons undateable, unmarriable, unwhatever, than to have them with one of these other ladies that's out there in the world. Because no matter what you think or no matter what you say, I believe these ladies do not want their offspring to be happy. Remember what I said on my last live streams. That's why you have to pay attention to my live streams. My last live stream, I said that the majority of our community, the skin folk community, are having children that they are not prepared for and that they do not want. Listen to me. They are having children that they are not prepared for and they do not want and that makes those children burdens. Those children are burdens because they do not have a plan for this world. They do not have their lives are not planned out, and they do not have a life or path or anything. So they are just here living. They're not thriving. They're living day to day. They're living day to day. They're going through life and with no plan. And when you go through life with no plan, they are burdens. But that's the difference between, look at it like this. Make it simple. You're driving down the street and your tire pops, and then you have to shell out $200 for a tire. Or scenario B, you call up your tire place before that tire pops and you have to pay $200 for that tire. Both scenarios have you paying $200 for that tire, but one's going to have you pissed off, and the other one is just going to be like, well, I called to have my tire replaced. Why? Because one was planned. One you had a vision. One you had made preparations for to get it changed, and the other one was what? The other one was what? Not planned, and it was a burden.
But what I'm saying is who he is to me is always going to be golden. And so I would never come on these panel discussions and dismiss my black sons, not for none of y'all. None of y'all. I don't care. I would never do it. It's never going to happen. I don't know why black women do that. I don't know why black women get up here and dismiss their sons for these talking points, but I will never do it. But what I can tell you is this. I don't know who my black sons will be to you. I can't sit up here and act all high in my...
And she's saying this stuff with so much conviction. And that's the scary part. I don't know what she was talking about the women in the space, putting their sons in the back burner for the talking points. I don't know any of that. But everything she's saying that on the other hand, if you're putting them on the back burner for the talking points, then if the other way around is you making slaves out of them, making little son husbands, emotional, irrational son husbands that would do anything to make sure that mama is happy. They screw their lives, but that mama is happy. That's what you want. You want that. That's what they want. I don't get it.
Like my sons are just the cream of the crop, and they ain't never gonna hurt a woman. They ain't never gonna break a woman's heart. They ain't never gonna do nothing wrong to a woman. I will never, ever, ever be that woman to tell you who my son is to you. Dating him. I'm not dating my son. I'm someone that has protected my son and covered his ass for the majority of his life. So, of course, he has an allegiance and a respect and an admiration for me.
So he owes you. He owes you with his life. That's what it is. You brought him into this world. You know, you brought this little beast of burden into this world, and you protected him. You did whatever you had to do. So he owes you his life. This is how they feel. You as a man owe your mother everything in your life, everything that you gained, everything that you won, everything that you strive to be. It is because of the mother. It's because of your mama. You can't talk back to them. You can't tell them your mind. You can't tell them when they're wrong. You got to continue to tell them that they're right. You got to continue to do everything you have in your power to make sure that they are happy, because you owe them everything, because they are the goddesses of the world. They brought you into it, and there's nothing you can do to get out of that debt.
For me, of course. But to you, I don't know what he about to be. I don't know what he about to be. I don't know how he about to act. I just pray that he act right. These are her children. So, of course, she loves her children. But yet she had enough respect for me as a woman to say, walk away. Walk away. Stop trying to make sense out of this shit. I done had Black women respect me so much that they done told me their sons were cheating on me. He running around town with that other girl. Go on head on. You too good for that. Go on head on. And that is the same type of Black mother I'll be when my sons start dating.
They know. They see what I'm saying? They make these little trifling dudes. They turn them into the little cheaters, little beasts of burdens, because, and then turn around and play the good guy and tell them that, oh, my son ain't no good. You might as well leave him, because they don't want this man to settle down. They don't want him to ever be in a position that surpasses them. And that position is happiness. That position is being in the place of that young man's life that he knows he is everything he can be. And he is a man outside of his mama.
But who my sons are to me, when you ask me that question, it's a privilege of being a Black mother to your Black sons. When you're a good mother and you're there for them all the time, they are you're the first relationship they have with a Black woman. So they admire you. My son.
This is the same thing that is going on with Jim Jones and Mama Jones. Pay attention. This is the same thing that's going on with Jim Jones and Mama Jones. And no matter what you can say to that man or men like him, it's always his mama was doing this, his mama was doing that. That it is what it is. You see it. It's right there. The mamas is all good. I can do whatever I want. I can teach you how to tongue kiss. I can teach you how to do that. And nobody will ever confront this woman, because that's mama. It's queen of the universe. It's right there in front of you. You can see no matter how she beats you, no matter how she degrades you, no matter what she does to you on this planet, she will forever be mama.
Sons think I'm so cool. My oldest son, he thinks I'm just cool. And I am cool. So he should think that. He has a cool mom. And we joke and we laugh and we kick it. He's my best friend. So of course he's gonna love me. Of course. Of course he's gonna love me. He loves me to death. When I'm dropping my son off at school, if my son get out the car without forgetting to tell me he loves me because it's early in the morning, we're both just running, my son will stop in front of the door. He's done it several times. He will stop in front of the door and stop and be like, and run back to the car like, Mom, I forgot to tell you I love you. Roll down the window, give me a kiss on the cheek. Mom, sorry, I forgot to tell you I love you. That's my son. That's my son. He's never going to leave me feeling any type of way. He takes full responsibility for my emotions.
I had to stop it right there. Y'all hear that? For the 2 or 3 people that's listening right now, for the 2 or 3 people that's listening to me right now, did you hear what she said? The responsibility of that young man or young men was. He was fully responsible for the emotional well-being of the mother, of his mom. What part of this is okay? What part of this is sane? And what part of this is kosher enough to tell to the public that your son, the one that you birthed, the one that you are supposed to be making sure that you are that kid is emotionally taken care of, you turn around and put that on him and make it his responsibility to take care of your emotions. This goes on every day in our community, in the skin folks community. I know that other communities do it. It's not that other communities don't do it. And before women in our community tell me, well, other white women do it and the Mexican and every other race do it. No, I don't worry about what other people is doing because I've never lived in those other people's shoes. I've lived in this. I've lived in the community. I've seen it. You know, and they always tell you that, well, it ain't everybody. You know, it ain't this and it ain't that, but you can walk out of the door. I can literally tell you stories of where I went to Walmart and a little boy was playing and she called the little boy everything but his first name. Called him everything but his first name just because he was playing in the store. Now I've seen other women chastise their kids and pop their kids on the butt, and in the state I'm in, you can do that. But it's nobody but us and that berates our kids like that for the minor things. And especially the sons. The women over parent the sons because of the lack of the masculinity in the home, and then turn around and baby him and tell him everything he's supposed to have, everything he has, and he's supposed to have it and get it. And then turn around and make him responsible for your well-being. You can't make this up.
Naturally, as my son, he feels very protective over me. And that's just what it is. So like I said, there is a privilege for the people who ask this question all the time. What about your black sons? There's a privilege. There's a privilege. I've had to mediate with my oldest son because when I got COVID and I was hospitalized, now he worries about me all the times and is scared. So it is a black mother privilege, y'all. For the people who ask that question, there is a privilege to being a black mother. If you aren't mistreating your sons and you know all of that stuff,
but women are. They're mistreating their sons by putting all of that pressure You're putting all of that pressure and responsibility on two men that aren't even 13 years old yet, making them feel like they have to make mama happy. Mama brought me into this world. It ain't nothing I can say to mama. It ain't nothing I can tell mama if she's wrong. It ain't nothing I can do to mama because I owe mama my life. I owe mama my every well-being. I owe mama everything. What up, Angry
There's
Son,
a
man?
privilege.
What up, Angry Son? Let's see what you said before I start this. So I've been saying you can't continue to tell young black children they will never amount to anything and that there is a system set up to prevent you from becoming anything. And not think that it has some weight on the mental. It does. It does. It does, Angry Snowman. You're totally right. It does have a mental toll. You know, just because you're not beating your kids up, just because you're not, completely breaking your children, just because you're not doing the physical things to a child does not mean that this stuff is not detrimental to that kid's well-being. And you seen what she said. You seen what this lady is saying. That is a black privilege because these women know what's going on. These women know that it's a generational thing that's been plaguing the community. You know, they completely beat and berate the young girls because they don't want the girls. They see themselves in those young girls, and they don't want those girls to end up like they ended up. So they completely be too hard on the women, and then they turn around and make the men son husbands and baby the men and make them responsible for their well-being. This is crazy. This is crazy.
There is a privilege. And I will be real about that.
Learn to code online in less than a year. Discover the Kansas State University.
Yo, I'm about sick of these commercials, though. I tell you that. Damn ads.
There's a privilege. And I'm not going to deny that privilege. But I can't operate from what you think and feel about black men towards my sons. I can't even operate off what I think and feel about black men towards my sons because my sons are the same ones that go to sleep with me at night. They just want to be in my bed. They both got their own rooms. They just want to be in my bed. They love me. They love me. And they gonna be up under me as much as they can get.
I hope y'all heard that.
As much of me as they can get, they are going to do it. It's just how it is. And so I don't have the same experiences with my sons that you may have with a black man. I don't.
Yeah, you're right, Angry Snowman.
I don't. And I'm not going to brutalize my sons off of my grown-up adult situations with black men. I would never do my sons. This is a whole different relationship. My sons are a protected class when it comes to me, and I'm a protected class when it comes to them. I'm their mother. They're my sons. It really shouldn't have to be as explained as it is.
Oh, we can stop it right there and talk about it for a minute. Hold on. I say, we say this all the time. How many of y'all believe that any man, I don't care where they come from, would get away with telling the world that he was grooming his daughter or his sons to act in the manner of what she's saying? I won't even say I'll wait. I know the answer.
But I understand a lot of people in this space are so married to talking points and trying to prove things to an audience that they will go as far as to disparage children. And I'm just not willing to go that far. That's what I'm saying, Blue Cube. That's what I'm saying. Well, as it was when I was a younger lady.
All right, I'm a leave that there, and because it's a long video, it has more. I might come back and do
So my youngest son gives me a run for my money. He does.
right. I might come back and do more, but y'all remember I was talking about Baby Boy in this movie, and if y'all go watch this movie, watch the movie. If you never seen Baby Boy, watch the movie. If you have seen Baby Boy, watch the movie again. And in this movie, they made Tyrese out to be this son husbandly figure, you know, that couldn't get right, that couldn't do right, you know, could barely hold a job. He got I can't remember if he had multiple baby mamas. I think he had multiple baby mamas, I'm not sure, but he was pretty much a son husband. He was a man child. And they made it seem like everything was his fault for no reason. He just like manifested in this world and was innately made to be this, you know, made to be this man child. And it was all his fault to get out of because he made his bed and he had to lay in it, which as a grown-up, yes, some of that responsibility does come on you. But if you pay attention to the thought pattern of the way this woman was thinking and talking that I just showed you, you can't help but to think that a little bit or a lot of it of what happened to Jody and men like Jody in the world was some of their mother's fault. Yes, they might have, you know, and I ain't talking about the whole Pookie and Ray Ray thing. We could put that to the side, but I'm talking about that cognitive learning and the things that they learned, the wanting to protect, you know, the mother, wanting to be the man of the house. Remember in this movie where he said, "This is my house too, mama." You know, he wasn't paying any bills, but that's my house too, mama. And remember, she got tired of him when it was time for her to move on and get her a boyfriend. Then all of a sudden that son husband stuff wasn't cute anymore. This is what we're dealing with. This is what you see. And I know this is a movie, but art imitates life. And you really don't see this stuff until you come back and then you look at hindsight and see that some of this stuff isn't what they make it to seem. Some of this stuff isn't just the man's fault. Some of this stuff is what the mothers do to these sons out here and then just leave them out to dry like it's all their fault. Exactly, Angry Stone Man. They groom these kids to be the way that they are, to be son husbands. If you paid attention, the dad wasn't there. I can't remember if he got killed or what. His other brother got killed. His dad wasn't there. So what happens when the older brother gets killed and the father gets killed? Who has to step in to be the husband? Who has to step in to be the husband? Baby Boy does. Well, all right, man. I appreciate the people who came out. Maybe next time, if I don't do it this late, we'll have some panel. We have some people up on the panel. I appreciate you being here, supporting the channel. Angry Snowman, appreciate you for coming by and supporting the channel. Bells G, I appreciate you stopping by and supporting the channel. I'll see you next time. This is just stuff for you guys to think about. In this platform, we all have a voice, and I appreciate you. Until next time, everybody. I'll see you later.